Hello, hello. If you're just hopping on, say hello. Hello, Mickey. You're the first one here. All right, let me get you guys up on my... Hello, Mickey. Hi, Lisa. Yay, boy, you guys are coming on fast. Very cool. It's been a crazy, hectic day for me today. I usually prep the day before on Mondays, but my daughter's out of town this week, and I have a brand new puppy and things have just been crazy, and I didn't get the prepping done yesterday, so I had to do all of it today. But I think I'm organized and I'm excited to be here, and let's get this started. Hi, Kathy. So I may have some new followers coming on today because we're going live at, I think it's called Birds of a Feather. I think that's what it's called. And they're in the Washington, D.C. area. And then also Sunny has invited me to go live on her station. And that would be with Would You Bend. So we have a little bit of a bunch of things going on in this one project today. We're doing and I'll put the camera down, but we're doing I call them front porch leaners because I have a front porch, and you know, they're the boards that you just lean up with different greetings. And I've done several of them, and I have one for Halloween, so I thought I would do one for fall. The fun thing about doing these, you guys, and you'll see this when I put the camera down, is that you got two sides, so you can do two different holidays or occasions, one on one side and one on the other, and then that saves you from having to store it or put it up. It just depends on what occasion you've got. So on the back side of this one is just a plain old generic welcome sign. It's pretty, but it doesn't have a holiday or anything on it, and that can sit out on my front porch all year long. This now will have a fall theme to it, and so it'll stay till I put the Halloween one out. So what I've done, you guys, is this is one of the tissues that I designed. This is a Deborah Bucher Decoupage tissue, and it's just fall leaves and pumpkins. I don't know if I'm getting it all into the camera, but I think I am. And I cut it up into sections. So when I put the camera down, you'll see what section, but that tissue is available on my website, and the link for that is also in the comments. And I base coated this sign. Hi, Deb. I base coated this sign. Oh, you know what? I forgot to flip this. Let me see if I can still flip it. I usually flip it so things aren't backwards. I don't think I can. Well, let me see. Well, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm usually really good about flipping my camera so that things aren't backwards, and I didn't do it today. So this is Dixie Belle Driftwood. And for anyone that places an order today or this week actually for $25 before shipping will get a jar of this for free. And it's a really good neutral color, a base color, and that's what I have on the sign. So if you place an order for decoupage tissue, and I have lots, I have all the Christmas papers for Roycycle, all the fall and holiday papers for Roycycled, and then my own design. So there is a lot to choose from. And then also on this piece, I'm going to be demonstrating Would You Bend, and this is available for sale too. I only have 2 of this particular design left, but I have a large selection of Would You Bend, and I thought it would be really cute on this board. And so I pre-painted it already so you guys could see it done, because I was trying to get some of this stuff done ahead of time. So Would You Bend is really fun. If you haven't used it before, what it is that you can heat it up with a heat gun, or you can put it on an electric griddle, in a crock pot, whatever. You just want to heat it up. And this is a wood compound. And it will form around corners. It will form to the shape and surfaces that you place it on. And then you can just paint over it. You can sand it. It's really cool. And if Sunny's watching today, if she has any pieces in stock that she thinks would be really fun on these porch leaners, she can post them on here too. So this is one that's painted, and I painted it with the Wise Owl chalk paint, synthesis paint. And this is their new color release. This is part of their new color release, but I just thought these colors look just like fall to me, and so they match this paper really perfect. Look at this, you guys. Look how pretty those colors are with this paper. They're just like perfect. So I am incorporating these colors into the design, and I am a retailer for, since I have a lot of newbies, I am a retailer for Dixie Belle chalk paint and for Wise Owl chalk synthesis. I had the hardest time saying that, synthesis paint. So, but we're going to use Wise Owl today. So let me put the camera down, you guys. We have so much going on here. I'm excited for you guys to see. Let me see if I've got the camera in the right place. Okay, so for prepping purposes, you guys, I already cut part of that tissue and decoupaged the top here. And then this Would You Bend is gonna go, I'm gonna glue it down up here. And then I made a stencil today. That was a problem. I'm really good with my Cricut, but I needed one fast today, and I found one on Etsy that I thought would work, and so I bought it, and then she had it all stuck together. I couldn't take it all apart and just use the parts I wanted, so I ended up having to make my own anyway. So it's really hard to position this camera in a place that you can see the whole thing. So this is the top of the board. And then I'm going to use, I'm going to use Dixie Belle Voodoo Gel Stain in Tobacco Road, and I'm going to stain this wood surface. So let's get started with that, and then when I'm done with that, we're going to put these stencils on that spell out, the stencil spells out pumpkin. And then I need your advice, because the one that I had purchased had welcome home, and she had, on her design, she had it so it was going right next to the pumpkin, and you know, like centered on here, and that looked cute. But I don't know if I want to do that. I might want to just add it to the bottom down there. So I'll let you guys guide me on that. And I think, yeah, we'll go ahead and stain this first. So, like I said, I base coated everything in Driftwood, and that's a really good neutral color. Just trying to see your comments, you guys. It's a good neutral color. And I think this Tobacco Road will look good over the top of it. Okay, now I got comments back up. Well, I see a lot of new names and faces, so welcome, you guys. Hi, Lisa, you're at the lake house, so you'll check the replay. Okay, cool. Kathy King from California. Yeah, you guys tell me where you're from, because I know, you know, I've got watchers coming from Would You Bend and from Birds of a Feather. So, okay, so I'm just pouring a little bit of this Voodoo Gel Stain, and I really like using it. I've used it on lots of projects. And I like to use, when I'm using this gel stain, I like to use an old chip brush, and I never get rid of my chip brushes. I always wash them first to get rid of the loose hairs in them. And as they start to wear out, I might take my scissors and trim them down a little bit, but they got to be down to nubs before I get rid of them. And so I'm going to just take this chip brush here and the Voodoo Gel Stain, and I'm just going to drag it on here and get kind of like, see how it gives you that kind of old barn wood look? And that's what I'm going for. And it looks pretty cool with the gray, that driftwood behind it. And let me see. I want to be sure you guys are getting a good view here. And I'm going to move this paper down because I don't want to get the stain on my paper. If you guys can see this well, give me some likes or some hearts so I know that you're getting a good view. You can see how simple using this is, but it does give you that old barnwood look. So you guys tell me where you're from. I see lots of new names that aren't familiar to me, and I really appreciate you joining me. I go live every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And Michelle and I just discovered that when you Google Mountain Standard Time, Google isn't exactly accurate. They came up with some mountain time that we don't even know what that is. So the reason why I'm doing this right now is I want to give it time to dry while we go down to the other end and decoupage down there. And that way, this will be ready for me to do the stenciling on it. I think it's going to look real fallish. And you know, in Arizona, we don't really, we have 2 seasons, hot and then slightly cooler. We don't have, what does the rest of the country have? You guys have like 4 seasons. You have winter, spring, summer, and fall. So yeah, see, I have to even stop and think because we have 2 seasons. Winters here are amazing. And we have people come here to Arizona a lot from all over the country. We call them snowbirds, and they come and spend the winter months here and then go back to wherever they live for the nice months from wherever they're from. But in Arizona, we have 2 seasons, hot and hotter. So for me, it's coming into the nicest time of the year. My most favorite month of the year is February. That's my birth month. And everything starts to bloom in spring again. Although, again, we have things in bloom year-round here because down here in the valley, we don't get snow, or rarely do we get freezing temperatures. I mean, sometimes we'll have a winter where we get freezing temperatures, and this might be one of those years because this has been a super mild, comfortable summer for us. We've had a lot of rainfall this summer. I don't know what the official count is, but it's really been a lovely summer. And so I'm really feeling the vibes. So what do you guys think of this for a wood grain look? A fast, easy, easy peasy. Okay, so I'm just going to let that go to dry. And I'm going to move on down. So I'm going to move the whole camera down. Let's see, this might be a good spot here. Okay, and I need the dryer, the hair dryer. So I'm going to give this a quick dry up here where I just painted that wood. I'm trying to see questions, you guys. Facebook has done so much changing of everything. There we go, I got the questions again. Hi, Brania. Nice. Well, let me know. Like I started off at the beginning of this, my website is on the link, and so I am a retailer for Dixie Belle, Roy Cycle Decoupage tissues, Wise Owl Chalk Synthesis Paint, Redesigned by Prima, and Would You Bend. And I have all of those products available on my website. And anybody ordering $25, not including shipping, today or this week will get a free 8-ounce jar of the Driftwood, which is the base color that I put underneath to get that old barn wood looking finish to it. Okay, so this is part of that decoupage tissue, that big sheet that I showed you guys. And so I just cut off a section that would fit this board right here. And so I still have a small portion of tissue left that I can use for another project. So that's kind of the fun thing about decoupaging, you guys, is that these sheets are 18-pound decoupage tissue, and that makes it a really nice weight to make it easy to decoupage with. And it's 20 by 30 inches wide. So the sheets are perfect size for doing furniture pieces, but you can cut them down into smaller sizes to do other projects like this. And so you guys, this is the driftwood right here. And I cut my tissue, and I'm going to put my anchor down. So an anchor, you guys, is, I'm going to start down here at this end, and I'm going to put some Satin Top Coat, and you can use any top coat you want to decoupage with. I do not recommend people use Mod Podge. I know a lot of people still use Mod Podge, but the reason why I don't recommend it is not archival. It will yellow and crack over time, and that means your piece is going to not hold up. And when you put a lot of time and attention into a piece, you want it to stand the test of time. So now I'm going to lay that piece down, and it's exactly where I anchored it. And then I use a little piece of saran wrap. There's different ways to do this, but this is how I like to do it. I start in the middle, and then I work my way to the edges. And by using the saran wrap, that eliminates tension on your fingertips, because we don't think of there being too much tension on our fingertips, but there really is. And it is enough to tear your paper. And this way it helps get your wrinkles out. And I've got quite a few wrinkles there, so I'm going to lift it back up and put down some more product. And if you haven't decoupaged before, it's my favorite thing to do, you guys, and I do a lot of it. It's just a really easy way to transform pieces, a really easy way. And paper has elasticity when it gets wet, so that's why you get wrinkles. It stretches, and so what you do need to know is don't get all freaked out if you get wrinkles on it because there's a couple of things. First of all, it will, when it dries, settle back down, and most of the time those wrinkles will go away. If they don't, depending on what your item is, then we can always take parchment paper and a hot iron set on a cotton setting, and we can iron out those wrinkles when everything is dry. And the way I feel about it, it just depends on what the project is. I don't mind the wrinkles because to me, those wrinkles are part of the nature and the design of decoupage. Okay, so you can see this was my anchor right here. And so going forward, I'm going to pull this back now and see how it just holds that piece of paper right where I need it to be. And I'm going to put on another layer. And I'm using Satin Top Coat. And I'm just going to do a section at a time. And I have offloaded up here. And then I work up to where my paper is pulled back so that I don't get a big glob of medium there. And then you just lay the paper back down. And I kind of like to hold it up a little bit, take my saran wrap and start in the middle and just work my way up and out. And the reason why I hold it up a little bit is like right there, I needed to just lift it up and reposition it a little bit. And it just makes it easier to do that. And then you just keep doing that same thing. So you guys, how many of you have done decoupage? Hi, Sue Marshall from New York. New York. Thanks for joining us. So you guys give me hearts or thumbs up if you've done decoupage before. Also, I was telling you about the iron-on instructions, and with every order of decoupage tissue, when you place an order with me, with every order, I include written instructions on how to do the iron-on method. The iron-on method's really fun. And I can give you a quick little demo of it on this too. I can demo it on the other end because I did that earlier today and it's good and dry. And because this is going to be going outside on my front porch, and like I said, it's a covered porch, so it's protected from the rain mostly. Although we've had some really crazy rainstorms in the last month, and I noticed that the window on my front door is water spotted. That's never happened before. But I do need to protect this from the elements. And so when I am all done with it, I'm going to use gator hide to put 2 coats on top of this with the gator hide to protect this. And that will protect it from the weather. It protects it from dust and dirt and, you know, just all of that kind of stuff. And gator hide is what I use on furniture, because you guys, I do a lot of furniture. I just finished up a real pretty nightstand that's going up in my daughter's cabin. And like normally, if you were doing furniture for yourself or your own home, normally 2 coats of gator hide is plenty of protective surface. And if you're going to ever be doing a surface like a end table or a nightstand or any surface where you think someone might set a cold drink down with condensation on it, you want to protect that surface and waterproof it. And that's what gator hide does. Now, like my daughter has an Airbnb up in the White Mountains, and oh, Facebook just kicked me off, you guys, so I can't see your comments. She has a cabin up in the White Mountains, and I've painted all of the furniture in that cabin, and I gator hide the heck out of everything. Usually a minimum of 3 coats of gator hide, because you never know what people are going to do to other people's furniture, and they never take care of it like it's their own furniture. So I always put a minimum of 3 coats of gator hide on the furniture to protect it. So if they set their glass down on top of it and there's condensation, it's not going to ruin the surface. And like if you're doing a coffee table or an end table or something like that where somebody would set a glass down or any food on it, you want to be sure. Or if you're doing your dining room or kitchen table, you definitely want to use gator hide. And if you're doing a kitchen table, I really recommend you do multiple coats of the gator hide, because a kitchen table takes a lot of abuse, a lot of food, a lot of heat, a lot of washing. Okay, so the last 3 weeks, Facebook has kicked me off of my iPad when I'm doing these lives, and then I can't see your questions anymore. It's really aggravating. My laptop is over here. I might just pop over there and see if I can bring you guys up on my laptop. If I can't see your questions and answer them, I always go back after a live and read the questions and answer anything from you guys. So don't feel like I'm ignoring you, because that's definitely not the case. Okay, we're getting close to done with this. So if you guys tuned in late, I'm Deborah Bucher with Deborah Bucher Designs. And I'm really excited to have you all here. I know I have newbies from Birds of a Feather and from Would You Bend. So thanks so much for joining me. And I'm live every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So whatever time you got notified to come on today, that'll be the same time. I'm very consistent. I've only not come live a couple of times because there were family emergencies. And one, I was sick with COVID. That was one of them. And I tried. I was planning on it, but when the day came, it was like, oh, I just don't think I can do this. And I had a super mild case of COVID, so. Okay, we're gonna make this the last pass. And again, the medium that I'm using is Dixie Belle Satin Top Coat. If you're a Wise Owl fan, you could use the varnish for your decoupage medium. Either one of them work wonderful, and they're both archival. If you guys like this tissue design, give me some hearts. I think it looks very fallish. Okay, and then I'm just going to go down the edges, because when I cut this, I did cut for it to have a little bit of overlap just to wrap around these edges. You could also take a sanding block and sand it down. And I'm going to do the same over here on this side. When I get this down, I am going to grab my laptop because I have to move this camera around so much on this live because this board is so long, and I want to be sure I have you guys in the camera. So I'm going to tack this down. Can you guys see how fast and easy this is? And like I said, these porch leaners are really fun to have because you can have one holiday on one side and another holiday on the other side, and then you don't have to store your piece. And I'm just tacking this down at the bottom just in case you guys are out of camera. And so the back side of this one, which I'll show you before we're done today, is just my regular all year long one. And I have another board that has Christmas. It has the Betsy Ross flag on it. And then it has Halloween on the other side. And then I have another one out there that has Christmas on it. Okay, so you guys, let me get my laptop. Okay, you guys are up here, and let me turn down my volume. Okay, at least I have you guys up here. So let me just, yeah, okay. So we're good with that. And I'm going to move the camera down. Let's see if we set it this way, if you can see the whole length of what I'm doing. Okay, so on this end, it's decoupage down there, and I'm going to add the Would You Bend. So I think you guys can see that. And then we just painted with the Voodoo Tobacco Road on here, and that's pretty dry, but I'm going to hit it with a dryer to dry it some more. And then we just finished decoupaging this end of the board. So up here in the middle is where I'm going to be working next. So let me get the hair dryer going on it to dry that. So you guys, if you haven't seen these before, this is made by Ranger. It's a dryer. It's called Heat It Craft Tool. And boy, it heats up really hot, but there's hardly any noise. So, you know, most of the time when we're drying projects and we're trying to talk over a loud hair dryer or a loud heat gun, this is really awesome. Royce from Reversible Treasure, she had this at the retreat that I just attended. That's where I met Michelle, was at Reversible's retreat. And so when I got home, that was one of the first things I ordered, was one of these dryers, because this is really wonderful for doing lives with. Okay, so you guys, originally today I was going to use all of those spoon colors that I showed you. I was originally going to do some blending on this board with those colors. That's originally what I was going to do, and it was like a half an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, I thought, ooh, using the Voodoo Gel Stain and giving it a barnwood look would be a really cool thing to do. So I changed my mind in the middle of everything. And that's okay. That's the fun thing about doing furniture or doing projects like this, is I always tell people, let the furniture tell you what to do. You can have an idea that you start off with, but let the curves and the shape and the texture of that furniture talk to you and tell you what you need to do with it. And don't ignore it, because you'll be sad. So I want to show you with this Would You Bend a couple of things. So the colors that I painted this are the Wise Owl colors that I just showed you. And this was not, it was not sitting flat when I pulled it out. In fact, I'm not sure it's flat yet. And so I painted it, and then I took the dryer. Well, I painted it the colors that I just showed you. And then I took Dixie Belle. I know I have it out here on the table somewhere. Oh, here it is. So I took Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax in brown, and my favorite brush for waxing. And I'm trying to make sure I get it in camera. And then I used, after I painted it, I took this brown wax and just put it down into the crevices all over. And I did a short video of it, and I'll put it up on YouTube if you want to see, but it was super simple, super fast to do, and it brings all of these colors in this board to life. So I'm not going to glue it down yet. I'm going to just leave it up there. I think that's where it's going to live, but again, I'm going to let this dictate to me what I'm going to do. I do want to show you guys. I'm going to move this camera up a bit. I do want to show you quickly that iron-on method. I'm not going to turn the iron on, but I'm just going to demonstrate it because otherwise we're going to go over in time, and I don't want to do that. If I had a lot of wrinkles on this, and now that it's had time to dry, it's really smooth. And it does not need ironing. But let's just say it was a hot mess, you guys, and I decided I needed to do something about it. I would set my iron. It's a dry iron. There's no moisture in it, no steam. That's super, super important. And I would set my iron on cotton. The hottest setting is wool. That's too hot, and it will actually melt your ink on your paper. And use a piece of parchment paper, not wax paper. Somebody did that by accident. Just take the parchment paper and your hot iron and set it on top of wherever you're ironing, and you can iron the whole piece and just go over it. And I decoupage the insides of drawers. Like, I don't know, I can see if I can get the camera over there to show you guys. Ugh. This is crazy. I decoupaged, this was another one of my designs. My daughter's cabin is very cabinish, and I custom mixed the color on these nightstands, and there was only one up there, and then I found another nightstand like this nightstand, so I bought another set, and then she said she wanted paper decoupaged in the drawers, and then I did a dresser up there. So I designed this paper because she had a pillow on her bed that had the black background and the white bears, and I think it turned out really nice. And I think, you know, when people are checking into her Airbnb, they're going to be pleasantly surprised when they open up all the drawers and find them all decoupaged inside. Her place is super cute, if I say so myself. Okay, so I showed you how to use the iron-on, and like I said, if you guys place an order up for any decoupage, even if it's just one tissue, you'll always get instructions on how to do the iron-on method. Hi, Deanna. I'm so happy to see you. Okay, you guys, so the next thing I'm going to do is add on the pumpkin stencil. And it's longer than my mat is. So I had to do it in 2 pieces. My mat only goes 24 inches, I think. And I wanted the letters to be large. And so if you guys haven't seen these flexible rulers before, they're really cool. And they're on my website. And you know, if you were painting around surface, a lot of the crafters that do Harlequin or Mackenzie Child squares, checks, they use these rulers, and you can just go around and draw a perfectly straight line on round surfaces. It's very cool. So I want to be sure that my letters are in the center. So I'm going to measure, and that's exactly 4 from that side. So I suppose if I go down here and measure from the same point, that needs to just come over a slight bit. And what I'm doing is I'm measuring from this right here, which doesn't work with the M, but it does work with the P. So it should be 4 inches from this edge here to this edge. So that needs to go over a skosh. And then let me get down here on the end and take a look at it from that angle. And that's like 4 1/4 or 4 1/2. 4 1/4, I think. Yep. So I need to just scoot it over a tiny bit more. That looks good. Okay, that looks really good. And I'm going to take a pencil or a pen and mark that. Okay, so you guys, this is a adhesive stencil, and I use these a lot, and I do make them. And if you want to do a project like this and you want it to say pumpkin on it, all you would need to do is send me a text or an email and tell me what size you want it to fit whatever your project is, and then I can create that for you. So also when you receive these, you do get instructions with them on how to use them. So this back side is like contact paper, and you just want to peel off the back side of it. And sometimes when you're doing pieces that have lots of small letters on them, sometimes like the centers of E's and B's and stuff will come off, and when that happens, you just lay it back down, rub it, and then pull back up. And so I marked where I wanted this to go. There and there. And I just want to be sure I'm getting it on down straight. Because like I said, it is adhesive, and I haven't put it down yet. So I think that's good, you guys, so I'm just gonna go with it. And so I just want to burnish it down really good where all of that design is. And then this backing here is the transfer tape. And I pull it off at a 45-degree angle so that it's not lifting my adhesive up, which is my design. And you guys, there is a lot of texture on this piece of wood. I mean, it's been sanded, but there's still a lot of texture on it. And so because of that, I'm going to teach you a trick so that you don't have bleed through. And that's one of the reasons why I like using the adhesive stencils, is because you don't have bleed through typically. But like when you have textured surfaces, and this is pretty smooth, but it still is textured. So again, I'm going to go around all my edges on here. Okay, and the trick is to take your Satin Top Coat and paint a coat of it on. So if anything is going to seep under your stencil, it's going to be this clear coat, not your paint. And so it will be invisible if anything does seep through. And we're probably just going to get this piece on and not the other half of the word pumpkin. I'm going to be out of time. But that's okay. You guys will know how to do that. And then when I'm all done with this, I'll post a finished picture on my website. So you guys, if you're brand new to my site, I would love it if you would like and follow my page. And I did put links on there in the description for YouTube and TikTok and Pinterest and Instagram. So if you would follow me in all the places, that would be awesome. And I'm going to turn on this super duper dryer again. And again, I apologize for not being able to see who's on and answer any questions, but I will go back and respond. I always do. And so the color, I think, I'm trying to decide, you guys, which one of these colors I should paint the letters. Tell me in the comments which color you think. This is Fireside. This is Red Rock, like the Sedona Red Rocks, and this is Native Clay. And all of those colors go super nice with all the colors in the tissue on here. All right, I'm going to check my comments to see what you guys said. Well, you guys didn't say so. I guess I think I'm going to go with this color here. So let me get a brush here. And we're going to just start painting them. And it's going to take 2 coats of this. So because we don't really get fall in Arizona, this is a good way to pretend. So I've given you guys all my tips on decoupaging. And now we're stenciling. And I love to stencil too. We got the best of both worlds in one project here. I really like this color. Native Clay. It's one of Wise Owl's new releases. They did a whole collection of, they call them They call them sunset colors. I call them Arizona or Sedona colors because they really are. Okay, so I'm going to give this another quick dry. So you guys, I got this hair dryer. I call it a hair dryer. You wouldn't want to dry your hair with it because it's too hot for that. I got it off of Amazon, and it's a Ranger heated craft tool if anybody's interested in it. I plan on getting an affiliate link up posted for it, but that's on my to-do list. It just hasn't happened yet. Okay, and let's go back and put another coat on it. I just splattered a little dot and then smeared it, and it just blended right into this decoupage tissue. In fact, I was thinking earlier today, I love it when you take your brush and you flick paint. And I was thinking I might need to do that on this piece, so I may still do it. Looks like I moved you guys off of camera here. Oh no, you're still on camera. That's a thing, you guys. It's so easy to just get focused on what you're doing and forget the camera's even there. And then you look up and it's like, oh my gosh, you guys have been watching nothing. And I like to pull these stencils off before the paint is 100% dry. I don't want it to be tacky. I want it to be dry, but not like dry. And I mentioned it earlier, but I'll mention it again. When this is all completely done, I will go over it with a minimum of 2, maybe 3 coats of gator hide to protect it from the outdoor elements. And I know a lot of sign makers that use gator hide for their signs that do hang out in the outdoors. you know, like signposts, you know, coming into their property or whatever. And the gator hide holds up really well in snow and sun and rain, all the weather. Okay. And I need to go get my picker. I forgot to bring it in here, so let me go grab it. And I'm going to give it a quick dry. And just understand the rest of it is going to go down so it finishes spelling out pumpkin. It's not just going to say pump. And when I get ready to add that would you bend on, I'm going to use the Tight Bond wood glue. I use this glue for everything, literally everything. And just a reminder that if you would like to get a free 8-ounce jar of driftwood, that's the base coat on here, you can just place an order for $25 worth of product, tissues, whatever. That's before shipping, and you will get an 8-ounce jar, and that's a $15.50 jar of paint. So it's a good deal, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to be super careful up here at the top because that's tissue and I don't want this lifting up and tearing my tissue. So I'm going to be really gentle with it because actually I've never stenciled over the top of tissue before. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, it worked. And this is just a thin vinyl. But can you see how crisp those lines are? There's no seepage whatsoever. And you can see how thin some of these lines are. So if there'd been seepage, it would have really been obvious. Okay, and then I just take my little picker, and you could use a toothbrush, or not a toothbrush, a toothpick to do the same thing. And I'm just going to pick it and pull it up. Oops, that did tear my paper there. How funny it tore there, and I was being too aggressive, I guess. So not to worry, I can always go back. I think this was really a thin piece here, and I can go back and just blend in those colors because they're all these colors, so I can go back and fix that. There's always a solution. And just you guys and me, you guys watching and me will ever know. No one else is ever going to know that happened. Just saying. Okay, so I will finish the rest of this tomorrow and set it out on the front porch and take a picture for you guys. I'll move the camera up here so you guys can see the whole length. So there you guys go. I think I might take a black marker pen and outline those letters because they don't show up as much as I thought they would. So what do you guys think? If you like this project, give me some hearts. And I hope that you like and follow me on my page. Here I am. Oh, Melissa, I didn't even know you were on here. Thanks. Oh, it's a little for Kempton here. Like and follow my page, and I'm here every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I hope you'll come back again. And like I said, if you'd like to try a jar of that paint, that driftwood color paint, then just place an order for $25 or more and you'll get a free jar of paint, just like that. All right, you guys, I'll go back and answer any questions that you had, and I'll post finished pictures tomorrow, so come back. And again, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good night.